Welcome to Trading Lounge for the US indices and the 18th of February, and starting with the daily chart here for the S&P, and there's no change. We're still looking for a move that's going to be closer towards the 2800 area here, and we call the 2800 area here in terms of the trading levels a minor level 8, and we also call the number 8 itself a profit taking number, so you can expect the bids to be hit there, and that obviously shows up from other areas within this space here as well. So this is generally the count. We're looking at 5 waves to the upside here, and once that's completed, we'll be looking for a correctional move back into this space here. The move up here can also be an A wave as well, because this particular move here is in 3 waves. We could also end up with a more complicated wave 4 correction moving sideways across this space. I'd also like to have a look at some other patterns as well. Here, one bearish and one bullish. So let's just go and have a look at those before we look at the end of this little trend here, and then we'll have a look at a couple of stocks. So let's just go into this space here. So this is just another bullish count to the upside here, where we have wave 1 here and wave 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and coming up into 5 here for the third wave. If that is the case, then the 38.2% retracement level comes back to the 2650 area here. In terms of the trading levels, we use the Fibonacci as price, so 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8 here, but this is halfway between those two numbers here, so it's an important level, so it would come back to here, but that's the 38.2% anyway, and then we'd see a move to the upside. I mean, it's kind of interesting really, and we just need to be aware of it, because if we take this space here and look at the 50-60% retracement level, that brings us down further to here. So I think it's good to put this count on the table, because if the market only pulls back down to here and then moves up from here, and we were expecting it to move down here, and we're getting all excited about short trades and so on, and we get trapped here, well then well, that's no good, is it? So at least we'll be mindful coming into this particular space and this particular number here of 2650. That's all that is, okay? The bearish counts for these markets are this one here. So yeah, I mean, this is the high here on the cash market for the S&P 500, but on the S&P 1000, this was the high here. So I don't really hold a lot for this particular count, but it's possible with 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 here, and 5 down through here, and coming back up into this space here. And the other count for the bearish side here is also this one here, where we have the top in play here with wave 1 here, an A wave here, and looking at this as a B wave here and a C wave up here into the 2800 area here. And if that's the case, of course, we would see a really strong move coming down through this space here. So yeah, let's see. In all cases, we're expecting a turn here. That's the important thing. So with that in mind, let's just go to the 4-hour chart here, and from the low here, we've been counting 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the third wave, the fourth wave here, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. I've got this 1 degree smaller here, but it doesn't really matter. So let's go to the hourly chart and pick it up from this particular wave 4 here. So that's this wave 4 here, and we're looking at this here. It looks like it's in 3 waves here, but when you look at the cash market, you'll see the physical market, you'll see that's just a straight wave 1 and 2 here, and then we'll need to look at this as wave 3, an A and a B and a C for 4 here. If the 2730 had become the retested resistance, then we would have been looking to go short from that point, but that wasn't the case. So we're looking to go long above these highs here, or above the midpoint here, the 50. So once again, from 700 to 800 with that 100 points there, we use the Fibonacci numbers as the price ratio in this space as well. So it's 1, 2, and 3 here, and then 5, and then 8. and then within 8 here we call this group 1 here, 1, 2, 3, the midpoint, and then group 2 here is 65, 72 and 80, and we can see that the market is playing out in here. So we're looking for 5 waves from wave 4 here to wave 5. So let's just go to the tick chart here and have a look at that here. So from this wave 4, looking at 5 waves up for 1 and 2 here, and then all the way up for wave 3, an A and a B and a C for wave 4 here, and then moving up here. So it might be a bit of a long stretch to consider that moving to the 2800 area as such. I mean, if the extension's in wave 3, well, wave 1 and wave 5 can be roughly the same. There's lots of other ratios we could pull into place here, but look, I guess if this becomes if the 2780 becomes the tested support, then you could look going up from that point there. We could also put wave 4 here as well, but it does sort of count quite nicely as a little B wave up here. Let's just have a look at this on 20 ticks. Let's just drill this out. Let's nut that out. It's a bit of a problem. Oh yeah, it's possible to have 5 waves here in terms of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for wave 1 and 2 here. So basically, that would make that 1 and 2 here. 3, 4, 5 here. So this is just the 3rd wave. So let me go back here to 100. Sorry, I should have done that homework already in that space. Anyway, so that's where it's sitting there. I'll just remove that. Have I got, okay, let's just finish this off correctly. So wave 1 here. Whoopsie daisy, wave 2. So we're going to see wave 3 here, wave 4 pulling back into this space, and wave 5 moving a little bit higher in here. So that's sort of how that should finish off. Yeah, I mean, if it goes further and reaches the 28, well, then it's going to do that. But at this stage, that's how it looks. It looks like it may not get there unless it has some sort of extension in that space. So let's just have a look at the Nasdaq as well, just on the hourly chart here. So once again, we're from this wave 4, we're looking at 1 and 2 here, and wave 3 coming in, wave 4 here. Wave 4 could also be sitting here as well. So I'm a bit unsure about this one here. I'm not going to dive in here. We're looking for a target of 7.1 here. But what I do want to point out is that when we go to short it, this is where we'll do it from the 7,000 here. We want the 7,000 as the retested resistance. This is what I would call the safe trade. As I mentioned before, you can sell it at this point in time with the SP 500. Okay, so let's just go in and have a look at a couple of stocks. We always look at Amazon. So with Amazon here, we're looking for it to pull back into the 1500 space here, roughly. So let's just see how that plays out in this point here. This down here as an A wave here, a B wave, and then 5 waves down for the C wave here. If this market finds support on this medium level here, which is 1650, if that's the case, then we'll be looking to go long from that point. But we're not there yet, so we don't have that. So we've got no long trades. We were going to go long here, here, and here, and looking for support on this level. So we haven't got that in play just yet, so it can still move down further. It is possible to have this as an A wave and a B wave and a C wave here for that to be completed, and we can look at this as wave 1 here. This is pulling back to the 61.8% at the 1600. But if the 1600 becomes the retested resistance, then you can short that down to this space here as well. So that's why I've got that under that level here now. And yeah, let's just see. But yeah, there's no trade here as yet for this. I do want to have a look at the banks. So who can we look at? Okay, Citi's there. So with Citi here, we're looking at the same sort of thing here, an A and a B and a C wave down through here, and we're looking for 5 waves up. So with all the banks, as we spoke last week, I could see that we had 1, 2, and 3 up, which could be corrective as an A, B, C, and we could just fade from that point and drop from that point. But let's just see if we, if this gets finished here, if the banks can push up and make a new high here, and then that will give us 5 waves. I know that we could squeeze this in here, and we talked about this here being wave 3 here, moving this to here and this to here and this to here. It's possible, but looking at the other banks, it doesn't seem the right way to look at that. So let's just see if we get that 5th wave up there. So it's just nice and clear and clean, and if that's the case, then we'll get that pullback here as with the other markets. And yeah, we can look to short some of these, yeah, this would be the long trade coming up this side over here. That's what we'd be looking for over here. And let's just have a look at what else we got here. Citigroup will do. Don't worry about the spikes here, they haven't been cleaned up, but once again here we've got that nice ABC correction, and we're looking up here. It's got resistance at 65 here, but in this case here we should be able to push up a little bit further here to make that 5-wave structure up here. So we can see that the 3rd wave is in here nice and long and strong, and this will be a 4th wave. So we just need that 5th wave here, and then we'll see this pullback into this space here. So we're not interested in trading these markets in this area here. We can look to trade short here, but it's really this one over here that we want, and we probably will have a few short trades in here as such. But yeah, that's generally the gist of things. So thanks for tuning in, much appreciated. Cheers.